All right, welcome everyone back to BRAP. It's Wednesday night, and we're starting a little bit earlier than we usually do because we want to try to probably keep the show to an hour so we can go back and play some Halo Infinite. so I think some other members will be joining later on. We're supposed to have Nick Downey on. I haven't heard from him today, so I hope he's okay. He was supposed to come on. He did the review for the lordsofgaming.net, so he had actually pretty good review. I enjoyed reading his review, but and then Eric Jackson won't be with us tonight. He's actually playing Halo Infinite right now, and I ain't mad at him. I told Slim I was thinking about canceling the show tonight had I not played some Infinite earlier today. But nonetheless, we have Slomo backslap here. Slomo, how are you? I can't even talk, man. How are you this evening?
Good, man. I've been playing some Halo Infinite. I did a really long stream today, probably about a total of 4 hours streaming. Earlier today, first 2 hours were about an hour and a half. Was finishing up Titanfall 2 campaign. Replayed that again on PC, and it's still amazing. Still the best campaign of a first-person shooter I've played in the past decade.
Really good, yeah. It's a really good shoot. Really good campaign, man. Like, what's the level where you kind of warp through time? I forget what it is.
Yes, yeah, I forgot the name of the level, but yeah, that was so well done. Like, it's essentially you get this glove.
Like a watch?
Oh, yeah, it's like a watch. Yeah, it's a glove. You just put it in the back of your hand, and like your pilot would hit it, and he would go back and forth between the time period where this facility was still running, and in the past, and then you would hit it again, and you'd be back in the present where it's all run down, and it's like these monsters have taken over and stuff. And so it's like it was well designed because you would have to certain areas where you would have to switch to a different time to get through an area, then switch back very quickly before you ended up killing yourself. Because of other hazards that are going on. So it was so well done. That one, plus the mission where you're hopping from ship to ship, was really cool. Near the end, it's just Titanfall 2 is so underrated. But I finished that. I finished that, and then I rolled right into Halo Infinite. Played about 2 hours of Halo Infinite. So it's so far better than Halo Guardians, which for a while there,
not hard.
People definitely were skeptical they would do it, but it's just 2 hours in, and I already have more interest in what's going on than I ever did with Halo Guardians. But yeah. How are you enjoying it, man?
I'm liking it so far, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But yeah, so far so good. Have some minor complaints, but overall, I think I'm enjoying from what I played so far. But like I said, man, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and retweet the link. It's probably going to be a shorter show because Halo's out right now, right? So I'm sure a lot of people there's going to be a lot of people catching this podcast later on. Maybe later on this evening or tomorrow after they get their fill of Halo Infinite. But Slomo, I want to because we're going to talk about Halo Infinite campaign, our impressions, the new Uncharted controversy, which I try to talk about in the spaces last night. I just couldn't get a word in.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah,
that was an interesting conversation.
That was very interesting. And the Game Award winners was giving you kind of a quick prediction on really we're not going to get to all the nominees. Probably just really talk about Game of the Year more or less, and then move on from there because I feel like Game of the Year is kind of like always the talking point, always the center of attention with the Game Awards, which is crazy. It's tomorrow night. I can't believe it's here already.
It's always there's only two things that are really important about the Game Awards. It's who wins Game of the Year and what's revealed. And it looks like Jeff Keighley has got the whole show stock full of reveals.
Yes,
they said there are going to be 4 games that are going to be revealed that will be day one games, day one launching in Game Pass. I have an idea of what a few of them may be, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's reveals for remember John Flynn? He was the former general
Yeah.
manager of BioWare, where he's got his own studio.
I
and
forgot
his
what it's
game
called. What's it called? The studio?
Yeah, I forgot their name too, but they got an action RPG that they're going to be
that's gonna show me.
revealing. There's so much. There's the former DICE devs, their studio. They're going to be revealing a shooter. There's just so much that's going to be there, as well as like movie actual like movie reveals as well. So it's going to be, looks like a pretty interesting show, and definitely probably going to be really long like the previous ones. Jeff Keighley always seems to go like 3 hours plus. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
What's up, B Money?
Hey, what's up,
What's
B?
going on, fella?
Oh, we got B. Hey, first of all, man, great to see you back on BRAP, sir. I missed you.
It's been a minute, man, but
yeah,
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, no,
it's good to have B knowing shit back on.
Yeah,
because he be knowing.
Yes, be knowing shit 101, right?
The 101 fits because you know how like it's like class.
Yeah, exactly.
101 is
right.
Is that what the 101 is? B Money taking people to school.
That's exactly what it's for.
Oh wow!
This man has been ahead of the game all this time. I'm just figuring it out. Like 3 years after being on the show.
I mean, I've been podcasting with B for like 7 years. I just found this out today. So, but
and that's the last lesson I would teach you. It's
like, yeah, no doubt. So, no, B man,
you played Halo yet?
I have not, man. I've been pretty busy today, so I haven't had a chance to jump on. But I'm gonna check it out tonight before I get in bed.
No doubt. Well, B, I was telling Slow-Mo, since we're there's three of us now, we'll probably keep it like in an hour so we can get back to Halo Infinite.
Okay.
Yeah, when I saw Eric's DM, I'm like, oh man, I hear that. I was like, had I not played earlier, B, this afternoon a little bit, I would have probably been like, you know what, guys, we're gonna cancel this tonight's show. I probably would have done like a Halo stream or something instead. But yeah. But now I was telling
you streaming earlier? Because I think you were probably streaming around the same time I was.
Yeah,
I think somebody in my chat said you were streaming too.
Yeah, I had 2 viewers on Twitch. I never stream on Twitch, so.
You were on Twitch. Yo, look, stream where. I'm probably going to end up getting restreamed so I can go live on YouTube as well as Twitch at the same time.
Oh, that's actually cool. Yeah.
And then that kind of like has a little dual stream thing going on. I need to get it figured out. I need to go ahead and just get that because I don't stream every day, but I do lunchtime with Slow-Mo, which is like while I work from home.
That's when I usually take my lunch, by the way.
That's why I kind of like figured like I can get that time slot where like people are just like, even if you're at work, if you're eating your lunch in the break room or whatever, and you see the notification, you can just kind of like watch my stream, watch me play whatever while you're eating your food and whatnot, get back to work and all that good stuff. So it seems to work out. I get a nice little group of people to come through. Shout out to them. They definitely hold me down.
Yeah, no, you definitely do, man. I love the timing of it too, Slim. It's perfect, man.
Yeah, I try to go live like, and some people ask me like, why do you go live at 11? And it's like, well, I try to hit 11. If I can't, then I go live when I can. It's all depending on work, but I work with people who. When I used to go into the office all the time, but I work with people who get to work at like 6, 7 in the morning. They get into the office around that time period. And for them, they already have been in the office like 4 or 5 hours. Mm-hmm. By the time 11 o'clock hits, they're hungry. They go to lunch early and they try to like get, especially if you're going out and grabbing something, they try to beat the rush because the rush hits around like, noon, 1 p.m. So they're trying to beat the rush. So there's people that go on lunch at 11. So I kind of figure like if I do that and I do like a 2-hour stream, I'm catching everybody on their lunch hour, whenever that is. So
yeah,
it's fun.
No doubt. No doubt. So so B, we're just talking about we're talking about Halo Infinite a little bit, the Uncharted controversy, which Slow-Mo and I participated in as Spaces last night, and then the Game Awards, and the Game Awards are tomorrow. I know Slow-Mo says there's gonna be some reveals. some new game reveals. I think you said there's going to be some movie reveals as well. But B, let me ask you something, man. Let me ask
Yes,
something,
sir.
B, because you be knowing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Do you? I mean, could we see some big announcements at this year's Game Awards from maybe, I don't know, Sony maybe?
It's possible. I think he said there's 14. I think he said there was 14 like total like new game reveals. A lot of stuff that we probably don't expect to be there as far as like no rumors or anything, no rumblings in the industry nobody's really talking about. So um I think people are going to be pretty surprised by the show. Like Slomo said, I think it's going to be a long show. I think it's going to be drawn out a little bit, but hopefully there's enough content there to kind of keep people interested because there may be a few things people are excited about.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the tweet where I think it was from Shinobi, where he was
Yeah.
talking about. Here's Shinobi's tweet where he confirmed. The confirmed premieres. So far is there's a new Sonic game that's going to be revealed. So if you're a Sonic fan, hooray! Everyone else is probably like, okay. There's a new look at gameplay for Suicide Squad being made by Rocksteady, which I'm looking forward to that because Rocksteady's awesome. And so far, Suicide Squad looks really, really interesting. Embark's game called Raiders, ARC Raiders. I think Embark is the studio of the ex Dice devs. Is that them?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Okay. So that's confirmed to be there. Improbable is a So Improbable is a single player game, I think. But whatever, that game's going to be shown there too. And what else we got here? Multiple game reveals from Saber Interactive, which they are Saber Interactive is interesting because they'll develop their own games and then they'll also do ports and do support work for studios. I think Saber Interactive did World War Z. Actually, I'm positive they did. So the World War Z games is probably the closest you can get to Left 4 Dead without being the actual dev that made Left 4 Dead. So they're pretty damn good. I wonder what they're going to get into. As far as the movie stuff, we're going to see a trailer for the new Sonic movie and the Halo TV series. So we're going to see those as well as Unreal Engine 5 demo of The Matrix Awakens. So I mean, all that stuff looks really, really interesting, and that's in addition to what came out from, I think it was the official Xbox account. That it's the one that always does the fake leaks, but they're like really telling you that they're about to drop something. So it'll be like a exposed email from someone, I can't remember her name, but like she's always revealing that they're about to show something in the email, and in it had redacted 4 reveals that would be Game Pass launch games. So they will launch in Game Pass. And those are of course redacted, so we won't know them until tomorrow, but that's a lot. Already I kind of feel like that's more than what was revealed and shown in previous game awards. Am I wrong thinking that?
I don't think so.
I think it's probably pretty close, maybe a little bit more. I think they've had like a large amount of reveals in prior years, but they weren't like anything that was like, nothing that was going to shake the earth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a lot of indie stuff and things like that.
Well, outside the Xbox stuff, because the Xbox seems to use like the video game awards as their like almost like whatever we couldn't reveal at E3 because it wasn't time, we were going to reveal it at the video game awards. Like they did Hellblade 2, they did the Outer Worlds, and Xbox Series, the Xbox console. They revealed that too. So it's like they always seem to go all out for the video game awards. Not so much anyone else though, as far as like bigger publishers and the other platform holders. But but definitely Xbox. Well, I always at least kind of expect them to do something big.
Yeah, that's a great point. Some, I mean, they kind of use this as a kind of a launching point, I think, into 2020 or to the new year, I should say, the year 2022. But he's got some more mainstream appeal to the show, or I think Sting's performing a song.
Oh God, that's the one. That's the one thing I can't stand about his award shows is the musical acts. I'm like, bro, I am not here for this.
You're not a Sting fan?
Not really, no. But
Yeah.
but even if I was a fan of some of the acts, I have been like, I think he had Green Day at one point. I like Green Day. I'm cool with Green Day. But like,
Yeah, Green Day.
Even though I have been cool with some of the musical act, I'm just not here for that in that moment. Like, I don't want to hear a 2000s or 90s rock band play one of their classic hits or do a cover of a video game song. I do not want to hear that right now. I want to see who won what, and I want to see game reveals. I kind of feel like, and this is why I said about Jeff Keighley's show is so long. I mean, last year's show was like over 3 hours. I just kind of felt like if you cut some of the music acts out, you kind of get it down to 2.5. Like, I feel like it'll be better paced. But he even with his Summerfest stuff, he's always got to have some kind of music stuff going on. Which I mean, that's his thing. I get it. It kind of brings a different appeal to it. He's kind of flexing his ability to land that kind of stuff. But for me, it's just like, yo, I'm mentally checked out as soon as like, yo, just let me know when the song's over.
Yeah, I'm gonna let me know when it's over. I'm gonna grab it. Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. So let me ask you, gentlemen. So obviously, there's a lot of eyes on Game of the Year. Everyone's always focused on Game of the Year. This year, and the nominees are Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, Resident Evil Village. Who do you guys think takes Game of the Year?
I'm gonna go with Resident Evil Village once again. I think that's going to be the one. It's the safest bet. Capcom is well respected in the gaming industry, and I don't know exactly who the voters are, but I kind of feel like the way they have voted in the past, Village would definitely just get the nod as a game that really isn't like that was well received by games media and the gaming community. There was very few detractors to it, whereas these other games that are up there have. I mean, I don't think there's really any real detractors to Psychonauts 2, really, just like a bunch of fanboys hating the way the art style is. But there are other like serious detractors to the other games that are not It Takes Two. Now I think about it, but that's your token indie. He doesn't really have a shot. But like Ratchet and Clank has, people had issues with how samey it was compared to 2016 Ratchet and Clank. How Rivet wasn't any different in gameplay than Ratchet, despite how beautiful it was. And people have issues with Deathloop. It's just I think Resident Evil Village is just the safest bet.
Yeah, it's either Resident Evil or I think it could go to the two smaller games, Psychonauts and It Takes Two.
You really think It Takes Two has a chance?
I think it does just because it's a darling game. You know what I mean? It promoted the couch co-op again. You know what I mean? Like it was. Joseph Ferris is like he's just one of those guys who you know what I mean is and
he's definitely on the come up. I think his next game is going to be really big.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like when you get one of his games, it always has like an impact in the industry. And I know it's It Takes Two is in a couple of different categories. I think best family game. I think it'll definitely win that category. But I think it's got a shot, man. Just because it is like it's kind of one of those games it separates itself from everything else that's in that category.
It does do that, absolutely. But I guess this is just me. Like if It Takes Two wins, like I'm not going to be like, oh, it wasn't deserving. It absolutely is deserving. Like it's that good of a game. I just kind of feel like this award show, the way this award show does things, it's like they vote in like games into certain slots, Like,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, like Nintendo always gets a nomination for Game of the Year, regardless of kind of year Nintendo's content is like. So Metroid Dread, as soon as Metroid Dread came out, as soon as they revealed Metroid Dread, I said that's gonna be a Game of the Year contender. Hadn't played it, still haven't played it. Didn't see anything more than the trailer. It's gonna be Game of the Year contender. I just knew it already, like right off the break. And It Takes Two. Every single year, there's this indie game it's an amazing indie game.
Yeah,
But it's like its award is that, hey, we're gonna put you up here with all these big names because you were that good this year. But don't expect any more than this, okay? This is your moment. The fact that when we run these names before we announce somebody else's Game of the Year, we're gonna say your name too. Congratulations. now get on out of here so that we can get the people on the stage is really about to win. And like last year it was Hades, which is now like my personal Game of the Year because I didn't play it last year. I played it this year. The year before that was Celeste, and I can't remember what it was the year before that. But there's always one indie. It's always one. And I feel like that's what It Takes Two is. Even though some people will say, well, EA published it, but it's like EA does this thing, right? And I guess they make so much money off of Ultimate Team for Madden and FIFA they could do this, but they fund indie games, and they don't take any money off. They make no money off of it.
Lost to
Like-
Random is a good game too. Nobody's
Yes.
talking about that game.
Yeah, I need that. That's on my list to play because that's another one that they did. And so they would was it Hazelight Studios is the name of the studio, I think. Yeah. So with Hazelight Studios with It Takes Two and the other one was A Way Out, EA made no money off those games, but they funded them.
Yeah,
And so like it's still indie because they don't own that studio, but they're supporting them and helping them come up, which is very interesting. Because like I mean, look, I hate to give EA respect, but yeah,
Hey,
I
man,
kind of got to.
What I've been telling y'all about EA, man. Y'all,
No one else is doing that, yo. Like no one else is doing
saying
what
it,
they're
man.
doing.
Yeah,
Yeah. But like, I guess ultimately, look, off the backs of those who continue to keep getting shilled, keep shilling for Madden and FIFA.
that's another thing I say, man. Everybody always tries to trash the people who play those games in the community. Like, oh, you guys buy the same game every year. If it wasn't for us, man, a lot of this other shit wouldn't be happening. So,
Right.
round of applause to them people that go out there Madden, even though it's basically the same game every year.
Yeah.
They allow hundreds and thousands of dollars in Ultimate Team every year and do that same thing the next August. So
They spent so much money. One of my coworkers is like that. He's into this. He has a Madden league, and they just do every year. It's almost kind of like fantasy football, but you're playing Madden.
Mhm.
And they spend so much of like the end to get into it is like he tried to get me into it. I'm just like, he's like, yeah, you a gamer? Don't you want to play this? I'm like, no, I don't. Like, I don't want to play that. I'll play other games, but not Madden. Madden ain't changed, in forever. But like the entry fee is ridiculous, and then you gotta like the amount of money you guys spend to get your team right and everything. It's wild. It's wild, man. I'm just like, yo, y'all give EA a ton of money every year. But hey, look, like I think one year, maybe 2019 or 2018, EA announced they had made like $6 billion off of just Ultimate Team alone.
Jesus.
Not the price of the games.
You
Not
say
the
three?
price
Wait,
of
you say
FIFA and
$3
Madden.
billion?
No, six.
Six.
Double that.
$6
$6 billion.
Jeez.
And that funded all of their
Wow.
projects for the entire
Wow.
year. So, like, which is wild to me that they treat BioWare the way they did.
Yeah, that's crazy. That
This is
doesn't make
like,
any sense.
just let them make what they want to make.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you have the money for it. Like it can sell double wood. Would it matter? Like you got crazy money out here.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, we got Forte Ascended. Forte, what's up, man?
What up, no?
What's up,
What up,
Forte? Forte, your phone sucks.
Why is my phone suck? No, your phone sucks.
No, your phone sucks.
What is going on?
I called Forte today. He's like, "What's up?" And I was
And I
talking to
kept
him.
saying, "Well, and guess what? I was on the phone. I was on the phone with Taz and everything was fine, but every time I try to click back over to you, your phone just because we ain't gonna act like you're not the one that don't be having phone issues.
I don't have phone issues, sir.
Okay, Forte, you have a iPhone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and Enrique, what kind of phone do you have?
I have the Galaxy, what is it, S21 Ultra Plus, whatever it's called.
That's what the problem is.
No. The problem is Forte's phone. That's it. We've determined the issue. The issue here is that trash iPhone.
Oh, Forte, why you be Destiny's the evolution of Halo? Come on, man.
No, it's ill. No, it's not.
All right, all right.
It's very apparent after this update that just came out.
God. So Forte, so we're talking. By the way, great to see you, sir. Welcome back, by the way.
Forte here, man.
Yeah, great to have you back, man.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Game of the Year, the Game of the Year awards, or the Game Awards are tomorrow. You're talking about, we're really just going to talk about Game of the Year.
Well, y'all were talking about how much money we spend on these games.
That too, yeah. But
not we, not me. I'm not spending that kind of money.
I just dropped $50 in Destiny today.
Oh shit! Look at that. You're part of the problem, man. So.
Come on, man. The people stop capping. Man, people spend money on things that they enjoy. Like I'm a huge Mass Effect multiplayer fan with Mass Effect 3, and Mass Effect. I spent hundreds of dollars in Mass Effect 3.
Oh, so it's all your fault. So is that what you're telling me? That the BioWare's downfall is your fault?
Pretty much.
You're the ones that spent hundreds of dollars in Mass Effect multiplayer, having EA like, no, you're gonna continue to keep forcing this multiplayer in all your games.
I was literally trading games in that I wasn't playing, and instead of buying more games, I was buying Microsoft points at that time.
I'm not mad at Forte.
I'm mad at him.
No, man, it's
you
way
ruined Andromeda.
Forte's
hold on.
Took money away from the developer.
Hold on. I know he ain't talking when this man literally put money into Halo literally in the first couple of days it was out.
Who did?
Slow-mo did.
Who didn't?
A lot of people.
I did.
We all did.
I did.
No. Don't try to group us all together now.
Look, I've only spent.
How much you spent, Slow-mo? $50, $30?
No, 40.
I spent
40
$20. I spent 20. No, I spent 30.
Do you know that's more than most people are going to? Do you know you're probably in the top 10? You're in the top 5% of people. How much money they spent on that game, Slow-mo?
I disagree.
I think if you take all the people that spent money, you're probably in the top 5%.
Where are you getting these percentages from?
No.
You are fabricating this, sir.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's 100% because nobody knows what the average amount of money spent on it.
Exactly. So I don't even know where you're getting the first 5%.
No. We're talking about if you're taking all of the people that played Halo, that number is nowhere near probably $40. If you take an average of people that bought stuff versus the people that didn't buy stuff, everybody that played the game, $40 is
I think the majority of people have. 5%. I think the majority of people that have played Halo Infinite's multiplayer have bought. I think the majority has spent money.
I beg to differ because I see a bunch of people running around with just normal armor,
ashy skins.
Yeah, but look, you get ashy skins for the battle pass, so you can spend $10 in the battle pass and still get ashy.
That doesn't sound right. You can spend $10 and you can still be ashy.
Well, it's true though. You seen them armors? Like imagine hitting level 91 in the armor, you get still look like it was dragged behind a dump truck for about 3 months.
This is even better though, Slow-mo. This is even better. Most people, if you look at the achievement for completing the battle pass, it's still less than like 0.4%. It's still
because anyone that has it completed spent money on it.
Okay, but like I said, the fact that number is not even a 0.5%.
But that's a huge goal. That's a huge goal between people who've just spent money and people who spent like $200 to max out the battle pass.
That's what I'm saying, Slow-mo. Okay, he didn't understand what I'm saying. If you take,
I do understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is that doesn't prove your point.
Slomo, what you're saying is if
you know
let's say
how did we
let's
get
say
to this?
500
I don't know. Hey, we're gonna
Being
have
a whale for
Hey,
Mass
time out. Hey, I'm gonna start muting people like people do in spaces.
Okay, I just want to say this. You tell me.
Finish your point.
You're telling me. What you're telling me, Slomo, is if 5 million people played this game, you're saying almost more than 500,000 people spent money on it.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. But none of them has spent as much as you spent on Mass Effect multiplayer.
Oh no, I think but I'm not afraid to say I'm in the top 5%. You want to be scared and say like my $40.
I'm not scared. I'm just saying you wrong. I'm just saying you wrong.
All right, let's get
and
back to
$50 on Halo, sir.
All right,
so
let's get back. Let's get back to
more than me in that too.
Let's get back to the let's get back to top. Let's get back to the topic here. We got by the way, we got Dark Optimus in the house. What's up, Optimus?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Thank you for joining us this evening, sir. Appreciate you.
Man. No problem.
Yo, Dark Optimus, I have a question for you,
sir.
Oh
boy, I'm trying to do. Hey, Forte,
I have a question.
Forte, Forte, I'm trying to do topics. I'm trying to end the show at a decent time so we can play Halo.
Listen, I need a non-partial person to answer that question. Dark Optimus.
Oh boy.
Do you think $40 or more is less than is more than like in the top 5% of people that spent money on Halo? If you had to guess.
If I had to guess, I would say probably more. They probably spent more money than $40.
Well, we're talking about the average across like even.
He answered your question. Stop trying to bad.
No. We're not talking about just people. Optimists. I'm not talking about people that didn't spend money. People that just spent money. I'm talking about if you take the average of every person that played Halo, would you think $40 would be the average if you average the people that did spend money versus people that spent no money?
No, I would say probably more like it'd be more than $40.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, that's why I want to. I'm not afraid to say like, hey.
I'm just looking at it as like the people who are hardcore Halo fans. They're gonna spend way more than anybody else.
Yeah, like me. You're right.
All right, look.
Doc, real quick before we move on. Hold on, no, I'm gonna ask this real quick. I'm not going back to the witness like Forte. Would you feel like people who spent hundreds of dollars in Mass Effect 3's multiplayer helped ruin BioWare with EA?
Oh my God, messy.
I think anybody who spent money on Mass Effect 3 multiplayer was an idiot.
You.
Well, there you have it.
I'm so glad Dark is here. So glad.
And I spent well over $200 on it, and I'm
holy shit, man!
All right, look. Let's get back.
He's like a great white whale.
Yeah,
that's why Mass Effect is my game of my life.
All right, let's get back to the topic here, because I'm trying to wrap up the show early so we can get back to Halo Infinite.
Wrap it up early. No, you gotta give these people 2 hours, man.
No, I'm not giving people 2 hours. I'm giving myself some.
We already discussed this before you got on. We are ending this in 30 minutes. T-minus 30.
We're gonna try to end in 30 minutes, but we'll see. Somebody said, "Welcome to BRAP Spaces." Yeah, this sounds like Spaces.
I haven't even downloaded the campaign yet, so I don't know.
All right, so we Game of the Year. B Money saying It Takes Two. Slamodius is saying Resident Evil 3. Dark Optimus, who do you think wins Game of the Year next year?
Resident Evil Village.
Resident Evil Village. Thank you.
You say Resident Evil 3.
Yeah, right? I'm not even close.
I would probably
your mom
say
wins.
It Takes Two. To be honest,
your mom. That's your mom. That's a game about your mom. It Takes Two.
Oh man, holy shit. If It Takes Two, then and that means the other dude's doing something wrong.
No, she just likes to.
She likes to.
Wow.
Your mom's middle name is DP. Anyhow, go ahead, man.
Oh, Jesus. I honestly would say probably It Takes Two is probably gonna win.
Oh wow, okay.
For the simple fact that
that's 2 for that one.
That people are just clamoring for that game. I don't get the appeal behind it. I've never liked any of that guy's games. Like Two Brothers, I thought was kind of meh. The other one that he did, A Way Out, was kind of whatever. That's why I was like, It Takes Two. Like, I have no interest in those type of games. I mean, it's not the whole co-op thing. It's more just the way that the game plays. I'm just kind of like, I don't really care for it.
All right,
but
cool.
Have you played It Takes Two?
No, I haven't.
You should try it. I think it's probably their best game. I
Okay.
think, yeah. Like me and Forte played it. It was, even though we didn't finish it, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun playing that. Yeah.
Well, that goes to show you. Oh, you didn't finish it, so that.
That's Forte's fault. That's Forte's fault.
Is it? Is it?
Yes, absolutely.
Is it? I don't know.
I'm
some
more
time
than
to
willing
look
to play that game. We could play it. Well, not tonight because I'm going back to Halo tonight. But like we could, whenever he's ready to play it again. I've been told him this for like the majority of the year. I'm ready, but he just
Yeah, I mean, I see where people like that game, but it's just not something I like.
Got you. But I mean, look, that's two votes for It Takes Two, one for Resident Evil Village. Forte, what is your vote for Game of the Year?
What all is in this category?
Oh man,
You don't know what's in Game of the
You know
Year?
what? We should just move. We should just move on. He's playing Destiny right now.
I was gonna say I'm just messing around. I think Resident Evil gonna win.
Okay, that's two for Resident Evil. Enrique, you gotta be the tiebreaker, man. What do you think?
Man, I'm not going to be the tiebreaker. I actually think Resident Evil is going to win. I feel like it's the game
That's
that probably...
every bit of a tiebreaker, sir.
Wait! I thought
every bit of a tiebreaker.
I'm not going to be the tiebreaker.
But I'm
going to break a tie anyway, just so you know.
Whatever. All right.
Y'all are funny tonight.
All right, I'm going to go with Resident Evil. Man, that's I'm going with Resident Evil. I think it's going to win.
Yeah, but I do feel like everything that's nominated for Game of the Year will definitely win their individual categories. You know how, like, say, like, in those Psychonauts, whatever Psychonauts 2 is also nominated for, it's going to win that. And
whatever, it's going to lose whatever Returnal's in, because Returnal's going to get its flowers in that category.
I think
Ratchet and Clank's going to get. Ratchet and Clank is going to get its in that category, because trust me, because if you look at it, Ratchet and Clank could be the one that would be truly missing if it doesn't win the Game of the Year one. So it's going to win something else. It's got to win something else in order.
Isn't it up for, like, I got to take a look at it, but it's up for some other.
It's up for some of the same categories like Returnal's up for, which is kind of crazy.
I'll tell you what. I think
best game direction and stuff like that, and like best I think best action game they're both up for. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I could actually see Ratchet and Clank winning that, though. I mean, it is a fun game to play. Like, if I beat it and just, I mean, it's not. I like the detraction to it, like not the detraction, but like the issues people have with it aren't like it's not fun to play. It's a lot of like, it's outside of the riffs. There wasn't much different in the gameplay from the 2016 game, and that Rivet didn't play differently than Ratchet, but like visually, absolutely, probably the best looking game to come out this year. If you think about it, like visuals, can you think of a game that looks better?
Halo Infinite?
Oh. No, stop it.
What?
You're not going to start this nonsense.
What? I mean, what?
Stop it.
Why?
If you think Halo Infinite looks amazing, you are sorely mistaken.
We'll get to Halo Infinite a little bit, but
yeah.
Hey, well, because look, again, I know the Game Awards is a big deal, and I know there's probably a little more we could talk about, but I definitely want to keep the show going so I can get back to Halo Infinite. But finish your point, Slimo. Go ahead, man.
No, I'm just saying that I think everything in the Game of the Year category is going to at least win something somewhere else. But like, yeah, I think for mostly in agreement that Resident Evil Village is probably going to take it. But did you see the player choice?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, right? A game that hadn't been released.
That's not eligible to be nominated. is going to win game.
Made it in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just made it in there, it's running away with it.
It's running away with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear people complain about the Game Awards anymore, by the way. Go ahead, B.
What game is it?
Halo.
Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite's
Oh, is
definitely
it?
going to win it. Yeah, it's a done deal. I think it's up by like Metroid Dread is the second closest, and
Like
it's
by like 20%
beating
it's
Metroid
behind.
Dread. Yeah, but like no, it's currently at 13%. Like they closed
Okay.
the gap a little bit, but
And the
it's
crazy
not.
thing is that people didn't even play it before. A lot of people didn't
Exactly.
even play
It got
before
voted like this before
it came
people could
out.
actually play the campaign. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
that's so crazy to me.
Yeah. B, what do you think? B, are you surprised that Halo's going to win?
Nah, not at all. I mean, it's a game everybody's been waiting for all year long. You know what I mean? It's been hyped up for 2 years. It's been on the roller coaster of up and down, not knowing what we were going to get. It got to this point, and the multiplayer was amazing. You know what I mean? And the campaign reviewed very well. So, of course, people are, going to vote for that game. And then you look at the landscape for the rest of the year. I mean, like I said, when we were talking about this a few weeks ago, like, there wasn't too many like standout games. There were like a lot of really good games. You know what I mean? But a lot of them were in genres that a lot of people just don't touch. You know what I mean? So a lot of people kind of didn't get a chance to play them or experience those games. So you know what I mean? Those games, inherently aren't on their list. So we got a shooter, and a legendary shooter at that. It only makes sense for it to be winning.
Yeah, I hear you, man. All right. Well, tomorrow's show should be great. I don't know. I'm probably going to be switching back and forth between that and Halo Infinite. Actually, I'll probably be playing Halo Infinite on my PC and then watching the Game Awards show on my TV. So, but yeah, tomorrow night Game Awards show should be a good time. And
We're going to be streaming it.
Yeah, and
DPS podcast is going to.
DPS, yeah.
We're gonna do it a little bit early and stream it. I think it starts at 7:30 actually. So Forte,
Okay.
we talked about 8 p.m. earlier today. We're gonna have to go live even earlier. This is 7:30. I checked the whole website that said 7:30 p.m. EST. So yeah, we'll be going live with that. We're gonna have Ramon Terrell with us, and
Ramon, yeah.
I think we might have one more person, but I don't know if that's confirmed yet. Forte, is that confirmed? Forte, he's
Forte.
muted.
He's playing Destiny. Who are you guys having, or apparently?
Well, I
having?
don't want to say it if it's not confirmed. So.
No, that person hasn't responded to my message yet.
Oh, so maybe that person should respond.
Maybe that person should look at their DMs.
Yes, that person who's hearing this right now. Yeah. Anyway,
At least should be hearing that right now.
Yeah.
B, check your DMs, man.
I'm guessing they're referring to possibly me. Let me double check, man.
Yeah, they're probably.
He's like, wait, what?
Definitely not me. I looked at my DMs. I'm like, I don't see anything.
I just looked just to see.
Doc, nobody wants you in their fucking show, man. I'm just kidding, man.
Well,
Hey.
no, it's usually because I'm on next. That's why,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Doc, I'm joking, man. You know.
Well, no, we tried to make sure that the person we wanted to invite was a person that we knew probably wasn't going to have any other obligations, because there's a lot of shows that happen on Thursdays.
Oh yeah,
we know a lot of people wanted to do their own thing on that day. So,
Autobus, you should just do DPS, man, permanently. I'm joking.
I want to do it one day. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
we could definitely do that. Tell Xbot to go kick rocks. That rhymes. That rhymes.
Don't do that.
yeah, man.
Right.
Look, we have fun over on DPS, man. It's always fun over there.
Yeah, it's always a good show. Yeah. All right, let's get into the Uncharted controversy. Slow-mo, can you enlighten our listeners about this? Because I jumped to the spaces yesterday that you were in. I tried to get big shout to Porter Rock, who was like, yeah, I see BRAP, I see Slow-mo. Let's get some of the old school guys in here. I got in there, couldn't get a word off, but you were able to chime in. But I thought it was kind of interesting, and of course I'm talking about it on Twitter today. People are like, oh, $10 Sony tax. Oh, I'm like, oh, here we go with that nonsense again.
Let me first off by say that I didn't
Yeah.
want to just jump in either, man. I was just minding my business.
Yeah, me too.
I had my COVID booster shot yesterday. I was all out of
Yeah.
sorts. I'm just sitting here, and I had just woke up from a
Drinking
nap.
some
clearly
green
was
tea,
not my
nice
choice.
warm green tea. You just warmed up.
And then Porter Rock's all like, "I'm calling you out, Slow-Mo and Enrique, get in here." And I'm like, "Oh my god, look, let me just go and say my piece." But look, I always preface this by saying that value is subjective, and so
Facts.
what one person may feel is worth it to them may not be worth it to somebody else, and vice
Facts.
versa. That
Yes,
said,
it's true.
it is, to me, I kind of feel like I know as a PC gamer, if I upgrade my GPU, which I've done in the past year, went from a 2070 Super to a 3070. If I upgrade my GPU and then like every game that I own asked $10 from me because now the games perform better on my 3070, I'm gonna be hot. We'll be highly upset and heated. And I'm not spending that. Now that said, like that's not for everybody, right? So there'll be people who feel like, I played Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy at 30 frames per second, and I would love to play those games that play so well from Naughty Dog at 60 frames per second with better graphical effects, a higher visual fidelity. Go ham, enjoy it. But I think that really wasn't what the space was about. I think some people just immediately like came in because that was kind of like another topic that was going on, and they came into that Twitter space with that argument, when Porter Rock's whole argument was that he felt if you have access to the game through PlayStation Plus, that Sony should just give you the option to do the $10 upgrade, even though you don't technically fully own the game. And I agree with that, because the way I look at it, just off the pure knowledge of just kind of understanding how gamers are, if you don't own that game at this point, you're not big on the game in general to begin with. You didn't buy it at launch. You didn't buy it when it was on sale for multiple years, and you have access to it through PS Plus. If this kind of gamer is in that particular demographic and they see something that may interest them, they're not going to spend $50 on this collection to play it, when there's people out there who's just getting it for 10. But they may actually spend $10 to upgrade their access they got to PS Plus to play it then. And so like the whole argument centered around this whole $10 upgrade thing for PS Plus gamers. And that's what the argument was about. Some people felt like, oh, well, I bought the game and they didn't buy the game. They don't get to do that because they didn't buy the game.
Well,
which that's an argument if you want to have, but I just kind of feel like Sony's missing out on money. And that's just, go ahead, man.
I hate making arguments that I made in the past that contradict what I just said, because the thing that for me when it comes to that is I understand the whole PlayStation Plus thing. They did it before with Final Fantasy and everything like that, and I get it. But using the logic you just used when you said most people that are in that situation wasn't even interested in the game in the first place, that's why they ended up just probably downloading. Most people just download the free game just because it's a free game, just so they can put it in their library. They don't even really care what game it is.
Right.
So most of those people, they even if they did have the $10 upgrade to do it, they're still not going to do it because they got to pay money. So I truly believe that those people still, there will be some people that do it, maybe, but for the most part, all those people that got that game, that was back in 2020 when they gave that game away for free. Half those people forgot about that game, or they were interested.
Well, I think Uncharted 4 is still in the PlayStation Collection. I think. Let me actually double check.
Is it in there?
I'm gonna boot up my PlayStation because I haven't looked at the PlayStation Collection in a minute.
I'll be interested if it is still in there, because that means you still have a legit. Well, then again, you don't own that game as long as you're part of the subscription. You get that with just being a PS5 owner, right? Or do you have to be a Plus member too?
You get that for just
member.
You have to be a Plus member, yeah. But I'm gonna check
Yeah,
it
you have to-
right now.
Yeah,
Hey.
see if it's in there, because that's really interesting.
Hey, so when someone's looking at this, B Money, what are your thoughts on
Yes,
this,
Uncharted
man?
4 is still in there. It's a part of the PlayStation Plus collection. So if you have PlayStation Plus, you always have that. It doesn't like go
Okay.
away. It's a part of that those PS4 games that are always in there.
But you don't have the option to
Lost
upgrade
Legacy
that first,
isn't
though.
in there, but I do believe they cleared that up. That if you just own one of them, you are eligible for the upgrade. So if you
$10 will
just
count for both games.
yeah, it'll count for both games. So I think also there were some people who were upset about them taking the solo Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy off the PSN store. I don't actually have a problem with that, and here's why. I don't have a problem with that because they're selling now the collection at $50, and they have a $10 upgrade for if you have the older versions. Guaranteed there are going to be people who are going to do this. The game, I think Uncharted 4 a couple of weeks ago was like only $8. So like there are going to be people who are just going to buy it digital $8, and then now they have the ability to upgrade for 10. That's an $18 price instead of 50. They probably looked at that and was like, yeah, we can't have that. Which I understand.
Yeah, it was still stupid though. As much as I understand what you're saying, and that's definitely the way they went about it. Is like me and you talked about earlier. It's all about optics. I mean, at a certain point,
True.
you let this. It's not this the thing. Sony has been doing things like this for the last year, letting people know all this information and stuff, and then going back on information. They knew that this collection was a thing, not last week, not last month. Not even 6 months ago, they knew this was a thing, but they chose to not do something about it early enough to like kind of let people know what the situation was going to be. And I just feel like you, on the day that you announce it, that's the day that you delist the other versions of the game. Like no thing saying no news, like you know how Microsoft did with Forza Horizon 3, where they was basically saying like, hey, license for this game is going up in X amount of days. They even had it on the store page telling you that the game was not going to be available after this date. They didn't even have to go into a whole situation to tell people why it wasn't going to be available after a certain date and then make their announcement. But the fact that they didn't even give you any type of heads up, but at the last second say on top of it, the game is not available for PS4 and on your PS4 digital storefront anymore. I just feel like, yeah, I understand why they did it. It's just that why would you do it at the time that everybody's going to be super hyper aware of everything that you're doing that other platforms aren't making people do? And that shouldn't be the subject, but it becomes the subject because Sony doesn't do their PR side when it comes to the messaging they've been putting out about the way that their games and upgrade paths are going to go has been just wishy-washy at best.
No, they cleared this up already.
They just cleared it up.
When we had the last debacle about the whole, what was the last thing?
Horizon.
It was Horizon.
So
Horizon
go ahead, B.
So when they had that debacle and everybody's going back and forth, and then Sony had to come out and clear things up. What did they say? They said going forward, all upgrades will be $10. Did they say that or did they not?
They did.
I don't think anybody has a problem with the $10 upgrade though. B is the fact that they removed it from the store in response to I said I don't care about the $10 upgrade.
They have to remove it from the store in order to look. There are going to be people.
They shouldn't have removed it from the store. They should have been did that. Don't do it on the day that you're going to make the announcement to do it.
When did they announce the game? They announced the game like months ago though. Like we knew the game was coming. They announced this game months ago. They announced this collection months ago. They just gave us the release date.
Okay, so why? Okay, so I'm just telling you, it's
Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy have been on sale multiple times.
I know they were $10 each, and I honestly feel like people were already the people that bought that game was going to buy that game. I don't think a lot of people were going to do what Slow-Mo said. He said. I think those people already own the game at this point. I just don't like the optics of it.
But this is the thing, like Uncharted 4 sold 15, 20 million, whatever the hell it sold. PlayStation Plus subscribers are at 50 million. So not even half of your base is subscribed to PlayStation Plus even bought the game. So
Right.
when it comes down to it, the game came out in 2016, I believe, or 17. I can't remember.
16.
Okay. So the game's been out for 5 years. It did all the numbers that it did. At this point, they're ready to see if they can make some more money off of it, put it on PC, whatever. If you didn't buy the game within those 5 years, and the game has been less than $10 multiple times. You can get a physical copy less than $10.
Yes.
It's been like that for years now because the game has been so old. They gave it away on PlayStation Plus, all that. So for them to go around now and just double back, like, hey, we can reuse this asset, we can reuse this IP, we can make more money off of it. We have a fan base, just like the Madden players, just like the 2K players. We got a fan base that if we, spruce this game up, put a new package on it, they're gonna go out there and buy it at whatever price we sell it at, $50, $60, $70. And they know they have a base that's gonna do that. Every company knows that they have a base that's gonna do that. So they're gonna ride with that base. Cause you know why? They're gonna fork up the money regardless. They don't care what the optics are because they know that they have a base that's gonna take care of them on the back end.
Well, we agree there. That's my whole thing. They don't. I said the same thing to Slomo earlier. I was like, I just don't like. Look, I don't disagree with the situation. I feel like that's what they had to do. I just don't like the optics of the last minute doing it where you knew this was something that was coming and you knew this was something you was going to get. I mean, anybody that knows anything knows if by just hearing this, they knew this was going to be something that people were going to have a problem with just because of the nature of how it went down. Like if this was removed off the store a month ago, nobody will be complaining about this. The game's not even available on PS4. It's the simple fact that they waited to the last
still complain, dude. It doesn't matter. People still complain no matter what.
Well, no, like I said, but it wouldn't be a huge thing as it is right now.
It would still be a huge thing for
no,
me.
it wouldn't be a huge because I was not out of mind at that point,
dude. It would be on Twitter. It would be a huge thing. People would be like, "Oh my god, you're gonna pay you can't even buy a Uncharted." It'd be a huge thing. People would be complaining about it because that's what people do on social media. Like this whole situation to me is like, when are we gonna stop fucking like saying the whole $10 upgrade is like why are people still so fucking upset about this shit? It's like, stop.
I don't know why people are upset about that.
Stop. It's stupid, like I get the whole $50 thing. Like I think, newcomers coming into it, they have $50. I think that's a little steep. I think that's a little too much. I think
it doesn't even have the multiplayer for Uncharted 4.
I think it should be more like
it's a lesser game
or 30. Like something closer. Yeah, probably more like $30. And that's the thing, man. These people are just gonna complain no matter what Sony does because they have some sort of advantage over Sony this holiday season. You notice that most of these guys are Xbox dudes. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's Xbox dudes who are just like trying to fuel the fire for everybody else, and they just want to make things more difficult than what they even need to be. I think a lot of these people are just they just want to complain for the sake of complaining, and they think that they're going to get their way every single time because they got their way with that one time where people complained to Xbox about the whole charging $120 for games. What was it? Games.
When they were trying to change to Xbox Live.
Yeah, Xbox Live, yeah. And they were trying to charge people more
what's
for that.
hilarious is that's very similar to some that we're talking about here with Sony taking Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy off the PSN store. Here's why. So the reason why they actually doubled the price for Xbox Live Gold is that they were seeing that people who had Game Pass on the $1 deal were not re-upping because so you can only get that $1 deal once. After that, you're now locked in, and you can't revert back to Xbox Live Gold. You're stuck. That account is stuck within Game Pass. That's the kind of trade-off that you took when you took the $1 deal. You can get the $1 deal again, but you gotta have a whole new account.
Yeah.
So you remember what they did? That whole $120 thing didn't affect people who still were currently on Xbox Live Gold. You were grandfathered in on the $60. You would stay on that $60. They said that. They said it only affected brand new Xbox accounts.
Yeah.
So what they were trying to do was tell you, if you're going to go make a whole new account to stay away from Game Pass because you don't want to pay for Game Pass, you want to go back to Gold. Well, we're gonna make it the same price as Game Pass. What you gonna do now? So it's a whole, like, they know the demographics, they see the numbers, and they see what people doing, and so they made a play to fix a problem with their pricing that people was finding loopholes around to go back to Xbox Live Gold. And then that's what everybody was like, oh, hell no, you ain't doing that. Even though it didn't affect 99% of the people that were talking about it. But this is similar with Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, where they're taking it off the market. But they're taking it off the market because they like, even though you can still go to Forte's store, buy Uncharted 4 for like $10 or something, and now you got the physical copy and you can get your $10 upgrade. You can still do it. They can't stop you from doing that. But on their store, they can stop you from buying it at $8, having an old copy of the game that's been discounted a million times, and then getting a $10 upgrade, and now instead of paying $50, you're paying $18. Nah, we're gonna cut that out.
Yeah.
If you never bought it before and you want the PS5 version, you're going to spend $50.
Yeah, the funny thing is every time I bring up anything about Xbox, you notice that people just get all swifty in the fucking comments in the chat.
Yeah, I'm watching. He's like, Xbox has got the top rated games on this. I'll show you. I'll pull up the Metacritic and I'll show you, Animus. I'll show you, damn it.
It's like, dude, I don't even give a fuck about that shit. Like, that was not my point at all.
No, it wasn't. It's like,
Metacritic capping now is crazy.
I love how Metacritic didn't matter. Now it matters.
When they were spitting out them 69s, wasn't nobody screaming about Metacritic.
No.
Well, I mean, I never cared about
the PlayStation side was talking about Metacritic then.
Shit, I didn't even know what Metacritic was until I got into this fucking community, and I was like, "What the fuck is Metacritic?"
So let me just chime in real quick because I'm watching this chat here, and unfortunately, there's a lot of console war nonsense going on. Where somebody's actually going after Optimus. I'll show you, Optimus. It's pretty funny, actually, Optimus. I'm not gonna lie. I saw that, I was fucking laughing. People are like, here's the thing. People are like, oh, Sony's charging you. Like one guy saying, oh, well, Microsoft's not charging you to play games. Oh, let me get a super chat real quick. I missed a super chat from Steady Flow, whose picture looks like Father MC. He says all developers take out the original games for the definitive edition, like GTA Trilogy. So what are we talking about? Thank you for that super chat, Steady Flow.
Do they all do that?
I don't know if they all do that. I mean, I know Rockstar did,
and Rockstar got killed for that.
Oh, they got murdered for that. Yeah.
Well, they got murdered for that one
inferior product.
Yeah, they're forcing you to have an inferior. Well, if you already owned it, then you're good, right? But like the definitive edition is far inferior to the actual old version of the game, especially with PC mods. So it's like, and plus, there's no like. I like the example I gave about Sony doing it is because like they gave you an upgrade path to this new version that if they didn't take the games off the market, you could circumvent the $50. That's not the case with Rockstar. There was no there's nothing. The definitive edition has nothing to do with the old version of the game. They just didn't want you to buy the superior version.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Well, it's the easiest. You put that out there because it's the easiest way to explain what's going on with Sony, or it's the easiest. It's the same thing with Game Pass and Netflix. It's like it's the easiest way to explain what that thing is if you weren't somebody who was in the gaming, spectrum or whatever. It's just it's just crazy, man. These
No, it is crazy.
it is just crazy, man.
No, but like one guy's saying to me, he's like, "Oh, I don't have to pay multiple times to play my game on multiple platforms on Xbox," and I'm like, you don't really have to do that on PlayStation either. You don't. No one's forcing you to buy those things. You can still. I can play Uncharted 4 on my PlayStation 5 right now. Like no one's forcing. Like no one's forcing you. And the same. And it's funny. The same people that are complaining about this, that are complaining about having to pay for new feature sets. And that's the other thing that gets misconstrued out of this whole argument. They're like, oh, they're just charging you for higher res and higher FPS boost. No, they're not. They're actually the $10 upgrade.
Why everybody go buy new TVs? You complain
Exactly.
about
Mhm.
Exactly.
And them TVs ain't $10. They $1,500.
Yeah.
Like especially these C1s, these LG C1s. I see people doing photo shoots with them. They
right. Look what arrived.
Look what I just got. They
I was
all
one of
over
them.
Twitter. And I'm like, you just spent about $1,500 on that.
But,
then you talk about me having an expensive PC.
It's because they spend so much money on that. Now they can't afford anything else.
Yeah, but here's
why.
But here's the thing, like it's so trivial. It's so trivial to me. Like, first of all, they don't even get the information right when they say, oh, it's just the FPS resolution. It's more than that. You pay for $10 extra, you get additional feature sets that are exclusive to a new hardware platform in the PS5, right? You can't get that on PS4, right? And that
you don't get that multiplayer.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't get the multiplayer. But my point is like the same people that are complaining about this stuff, like, oh, I get to play, or I get to watch play my games on multiple platforms, having to pay. The same people that go out and buy Ultra 4K Blu-ray movies of movies they owned on Blu-ray anyway. Like, is Disney's Warner Brothers giving you guys free upgrades? Are you beating down their doors saying, "Hey, Warner, where's my? I bought the Superman Blu-ray movie 3 years ago. Why can't I get that 4K upgrade?"
Hey, look, Universal. I got Ghostbusters on VHS. I just bought a Blu-ray. Give me that.
Can I get that free upgrade?
Give me that Blu-ray. Look, here's my VHS. It still works too. I can't find a VHS player nowhere. So, but still, like, hook a brother up. No, look, this scenarios are hilarious, but
no, but I mean, am I talking crazy? I mean, Slobo, you see what I'm saying? It's like there's
but look, but see, that's true, but it is also like. It also depends on the communities and what people accept. Clearly, people accept this, right? But like on PC, this would never, ever, 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 ever
no,
fly.
It wouldn't fly. It wouldn't fly.
No, like $10. The ups for what? Like Control, 505 Games, and what's the name of the dev? Remedy.
But PC's an open platform. PC's also an open platform too. That's
they tried this with Control Ultimate Edition. And people were like, wait a minute, hold up. So what's an Ultimate Edition? Oh, nothing new? What do I get? Oh, but hold on. It's PC. The game already had ray tracing in DLSS. There's nothing new here? You want me to spend what on this? No, absolutely not. I'll just stick with what we already have, which is exactly what that is. But like, you're never going to get people to spend more on, which is why you'll see stuff like EA and Activision put their games out, their Call of Duties, their Battlefields out at $60 on PC when it's $70 on Xbox Series X and S and PS5, because they know PC guys ain't spending $70.
Yeah,
you gotta hope they won't spend it.
Be happy they'll spend full price on it. And
exactly.
Yeah, I think it's problem children in the PlayStation community. People like me and BRAP who are just like, fuck it, I'm gonna spend whatever money I can to play the games I want to play. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like I mean,
we're part of that problem, dude.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. I mean, like, all jokes aside, like, people give me shit. Oh, you're gonna spend $10 on an upgrade. you're playing the someone said some guy said haptic tax. I'm like, is that what we're fucking calling it, haptic tax? That's pretty fucking lame. Like, I'm like, look, if I see value in it, that's on me. If you don't, that's cool. Like, that's value is subjective, which what Slow-Mo said earlier. If you don't see value in $10, then don't buy it. Don't buy it. It's not for you.
Yo, it's $10. Like, look, the whole $50 thing, I can see people being upset about that, right? But like, well, it's now on PC because like those games didn't exist on PC, period. So like $50 makes total sense on PC because those games never existed to begin with on PC, and now that they're there,
they're gonna be crazy on PC.
Yeah, that's where the 50 is going to sell the most on PC.
Yep.
But $10, some of y'all spend more than that for lunch.
Some of them spend more than on fucking controllers, multiple controllers.
Yeah.
I don't understand the whole, like, if you're going out there and you're gonna spend $200 $300 on a fucking controller, which the Scuff one is like almost $300 $400, like
and it's trash. Apparently,
you have no right to say that somebody spending $10 or $70 on games is a waste or whatever, because you're going out and spending your money however you want to spend it, and those people are doing the same thing. What does it matter to you how somebody else spends their money? Because it seems like that's how people act. Right. Even people in the chat are acting like that sometimes. And it's like, dude, really? Like, don't you spend your money the way you want? Then let me spend the money the way I want. I have the money to do it. I'm going to do it. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Don't make me seem like I'm a fucking piece of shit because I decided to buy this game, It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
It is crazy, and I would say to the same people, I
absolutely will judge you for spending money on Destiny right now. But still, it's still your money to spend.
Dude, I haven't spent money on Destiny since frickin' Forsaken. So
yeah, but look, I will say to these people again, I'm sure many of you have bought a movie on Blu-ray and went out and bought the same movie on 4K and paid more money for it. For the 4K version. So I want you guys to go to Warner Brothers and beat down the doors and tell them how unfair they are and tell them that you want free upgrades. You demand it. It has to be done. Because God forbid that you partake in that. And that's the thing. That's the thing that's the thing that kills me with, and I tweeted this earlier, like, it seems like the rules of consumer behavior and the fact that companies, could charge. Look, companies have every right to charge what they feel is what their product is worth. And we have every right to say, hey, you know what? That is for us or that's not for us. And that's how it works. Gaming isn't any different. All this back and forth about $10 upgrades and this and that, it's ridiculous. And it's so trivial. It's just at the end of the day, it's so inconsequential to anything. So
yeah.
That's my point. But anyhow, let's get to Halo, gentlemen.
Do it.
All right. So I have played probably about 2 hours of Halo. I think it's the best looking game of the generation. I don't care what B Money says. Why are you laughing, B? Why are you laughing, sir?
Hey man,
why are you laughing?
Come on with these jokes, man. Don't. It ain't time for comedy hour tonight, man. Come on.
B's not even entertaining. He's like, nah, it's not time for comedy hour. Just yeah. Hold on a sec here. Yeah. So look, game is out, and look, I first just my quick thoughts. Salute to 343i. I mean, holy shit, they look. Joseph Staten saved this game. Probably saved the franchise. Like saved it.
Definitely saved some people's jobs for sure.
Oh, he did. Bonnie Ross needs to be like whining and dining him right now, because you're right, B. He saved some jobs. Like it's oh man. I'm reading the chat. I'm laughing. Look, I thought this game was coming in hot. I was concerned, and then some of the media got their hands on it, influence got their hands on it, early access, and the early impression sounded very positive. And I got to say, like, so far, 2 hours into it, I'm enjoying the campaign. It is basically a modern take of Halo Combat Evolved. That's probably the best way I think I could describe it. Visually, it looks good, but is it the best game? Is the best game I've seen visually this generation? No, but it still looks good. I mean, it's not a terrible looking game. It looks much better than we saw a year ago. The lighting is probably the biggest improvement that I've seen. I'm playing it on my I still got to play it on PC, but I've been playing it on my my C1, my OLED C1, and it looks really good. But so far, what I play, I mean, it
PC has got some weird. It needs to be optimized. Yeah, some weird stuff's going on. VSync is broken on PC.
Oh,
so it has weird frame timing. So it keeps every time I load it up, it changes my graphical settings and put everything on low. So I gotta go in and put my settings in correctly again. I was streaming it earlier, and I just decided so that like I didn't have issues with like the stream quality being weird with Twitch, because Twitch is only going to do 60 frames per second. So if anything above that, it starts to get kind of like when there's like fast movement going on, it'll get a little like not clear. Yeah. So I just tried to lock it to 60, but even doing that at 1440p, native 1440p, I have frame rate drops at times when things got busy. And I have a 3070, which is interesting. So it needs to have some optimizing on PC, in addition to the cutscenes being locked at 30 frames per second.
Yeah, the cutscenes look like kind of stuttered for me a little bit.
Yes, that's consistent on PC as well as Xbox.
Yeah.
Digital Foundry discussed that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think the opening scene is amazing.
Real quick, slow-mo. I'm sorry, man. Let me get some super chats real quick. I forgot them. T-Rock just reminded me to grab these real quick. I should have grabbed these before we transitioned. T-Rock 40, the $5 super chat says, we the minority. The average player isn't sweating $10. If they want something, why is gaming the only place where people judge other spending? It's a great point, T-Rock. Then Carlos Crespin with the $5 super chat says he's saying people are going to go out and buy GTA 5 again next year without hesitation. Thank you for that. Thank you for those super chats. Great points, gentlemen. Go ahead, Slow-mo.
Yeah, the opening sequence is amazing. I'm not going to talk about it in detail because it's kind of spoilerish, but it's really good. It's very good
at 5.
Yes, absolutely.
Let me tell you something. It might be the best.
I really like 5, even though like 5 wasn't like a great campaign. That opening sequence was fire.
The opening sequence is amazing.
Yeah. I didn't like 5 either, and I'm liking this game.
Yeah,
but the opening sequence though is probably one of my favorites.
Okay.
Like it kind of sets the tone. It sets a good tone.
I said this on Twitter. B Money, if you think back to a lot of the criticisms that Enrique has had in regards to the story for Halo Infinite, that Halo in general, when it comes to the Master Chief and stuff like that, and
yes.
as well as Eric, they address those things in this opening sequence. So you actually see a difference in there. I'm not saying the storytelling is amazing, because Escarum is definitely, as Skillup said, a Saturday morning cartoon supervillain. Like his voice actor, good grief, dude. Like, this dude was just really all on the I was expecting the He-Man villain kind of like vibes off of this guy. Like, he's just so.
I kind of like that though. I don't know why I kind of like that though.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just like, oh my god, like him and the pilot is annoying. Over in just 2 hours already.
He's Latino. Is that why?
I mean that's a great. Is it because he's Latino?
You know what? No, it's not. But we know what it is. It's the fact that in just 2 hours, I'm already telling him to shut up, because he's constantly like Chief, you're gonna get us killed. You're gonna get us killed, Chief. Shut the fuck.
Well, I mean, but slow-mo.
Like,
Wait, slow-mo.
Soldier, sir. Can you act like a damn soldier?
Slow-mo.
Like, stop complaining,
slow-mo,
guy.
But you got to remember. I think we get a understanding of why he's like that, though. I think in the beginning.
Yes, he's a little skittish. He's got a little PTSD going.
But yeah, PTSD from what he saw, but also, he's got family.
Don't all soldiers have family? There's a lot of dead bodies all over the place, man. Hey, look.
No, but I'm saying is like he's been isolated, and he's like he hasn't had any human. And I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to spoil anything, but I guess this isn't really a spoiler. But technically, he hasn't had any human contact.
They also downgraded his face compared to the trailers.
Let me tell you something. The one thing I'll say about him though, why do his eyes look like he just blew 4 lines of coke?
I have to say the same thing. Yeah.
Right? His pupils are fucking dilated, and his eyes are always like so wide open. Like, bro,
maybe that's why he's acting like that. He is high. This man was by himself for far too long.
Are they trying to stereotype the Latino in this game?
You the one that keep taking it there. Like, can this man just be a coked out pilot that think he's going to die?
But why is it why is it gonna be a coked out Latino though? That's our point, man. Iris and I are Latinos, and we don't understand this.
Exactly.
Why can't it be a coked out gringo? That's what we want to know.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh! Look, I'm just saying, he's annoying me. Okay, like Chief, you want me to do what now? Dude, I'm about to put a bullet in your head. Seriously, like, you need to stop complaining. It is just 2 hours in.
Gregor Von Doom said Steve Buscemi eyes. Yeah, I think they mocap Steve Buscemi for this guy.
No, but look, I'm enjoying it. I've just gotten into the open world aspect of it, the hub world aspect, not like actually open world, but the ability to kind of choose where you want to take things
I didn't like that hub world map, Slow-Mo, by the way. When that first popped up, I was like, eh.
I don't mind it. It's fine.
But
I do like how if you save like some companies of Marines, they follow you. So you know how like
cool. Yeah, that's cool.
In previous Halo games, you'll have like say silent cartographer mission, right? You come down in the Pelican, you drop out.
This is basically silent cartographer, by the way.
Yeah, I would say it's more second mission of Halo Combat Evolved overall than just silent cartographer, because silent cartographer is still very linear. Like you drop down on the beach, you wipe out the Covenant on the beach, then you move towards inside, and it's still very narrow corridor, big area fights, then narrow corridor, big area fights, typical Halo level design.
So it's like it's like when Master Chief crashes in Halo CE, that open world, and then silent cartography.
Yes, because like in Halo CE, you crashed in the escape pod off of the Pillar of Autumn. You get out, everyone's dead. You then have 3 Covenant control points to take down before the mission's over. It's a lot of that, but expanded upon in a hub world environment. That mission's very good. I actually kind of called this a year ago. I don't want to brag, but like I did the video saying, hey, look, I'm looking at like the gameplay after the gameplay reveal. You were taking down 3 points. They said he had to take down 3 points in the gameplay reveal they showed, and I'm thinking like that's oddly familiar because in Combat Evolved, that's what you're doing after you crashed onto the planet, which is exactly onto the Halo ring, which is exactly what they showed in the gameplay reveal. But I do like the way it's implemented. Like you literally, I jumped on the mongoose, I started heading towards one of the Marines that were captured. Ran into a whole bunch of banished troops on the way there, jumped out, killed them, decided to ditch the mongoose, and just like ran up on that location and took them down. And it's fun. It's a well playing Halo game. Yeah, you're gonna get a lot of the same enemies. Yeah, there's nothing really new on the enemy front, at least not yet. You do have some of the banished like higher lieutenant people who they look cool. Yeah, they look cool. There's more like a boss fight with them. Like you fight, what's that guy's name? Timonius.
Timonius, yeah.
In the
That's a
first
boss
level.
fight.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
boss
Those are
fight.
fight.
That's a
He's
boss
like,
fight. And
I will kill you.
They have a
Ah.
health bar over them, then they had their boss fights. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's already a major improvement over Halo Guardians, where you fought the same boss like 7 times throughout
Oh,
the
the
entire
guy was-
campaign.
That was mad annoying.
I was so
It was
pissed at
annoying,
that.
and you would never beat him.
Yeah, he's always run away afterwards. Like, come on, man, I better not see this guy again. And of course,
Yeah.
an hour later, he shows up again with his
Back.
stupid dialogue.
Hey, I want to say something real quick about the enemy variety, because obviously that's never been. I mean, I shouldn't say it's never been. There's been some variety per se in previous Halos, but I got to be honest with you, I'm tired
They
of the
introduced the
grunts.
Forerunners and 343 introduced the Forerunner enemies.
Yeah, they did, but I'm actually I'm over the grunts. Like they're like fighting Ewoks. They don't do anything. It's like cannon fodder, and it's a waste of it's just they're just not. I don't even know why they're there anymore.
They give you ammo. They give you ammo and weapons.
Yeah, that's true. They do give you
once
ammo,
run out.
but they're almost there for like comic relief in some ways. You know, you kill one of them, the other one's like, "Oh, I'm glad it wasn't me who died." Okay, it's just. I don't know.
At one point in my stream, I'm rolling around in the Scorpion tank, and this grunt comes up to on top of this cliff above me. He's like, "Wait till you see what I got for you!" And he's pulling out his grenade. Forever, and I just
That's so
turned and
funny.
just shot him off the cliff. It was hilarious. It's just like, yeah, they're not a challenge at all. I'm playing on heroic. I kind of wish I would have just went to legendary. I'm gonna finish it on heroic and then play it back again on legendary. But yeah, I'm not really. It's not really difficult on heroic. I didn't really expect it to be like. I always kind of felt like in the past heroic was like for your first playthrough, you don't really know the levels and the maps like that or what's coming up next. It's like a decent challenge, but nothing too serious. But legendary is where you know, hey, put on your big boy pants. It's about you about to get into it, and I kind of feel like I probably should have just bumped it up to legendary initially off the break, but it's fine. I'm going to play through it twice and also play through it with when the co-op finally comes out sometime next year with my buddies, and we all do it on legendary like we normally do. But I'm having fun with it. I've saved 2 marine companies. Sometimes they don't follow the way they're supposed to. The first one I saved, they followed me back to one of my other forward operating bases, and then I tried to go to another control point, and then only one came with me, and I'm like, what are the rest of you guys doing? So me and that one dude, we took that down, and then I went to go save another one, and then like that dude just disappeared. I have no idea where he went. So it's just like, all right, but they do follow you, which I think is a lot better than before, where it was just like they'll be with you for a time, but then they'll stop following you after a little while. But
like this, yeah. I will say this, Slomo. I think from obviously I think this is a modern take on Halo C, and I think they nailed that. Mm-hmm. Even though I didn't really care for like kind of that map, the open world map. Because I feel like no Halo's ever had that. I'm like, oh, what is this? Even though they how they transition to the map and how they explain to you the points that you go to, that was actually done pretty well, I thought. It was like,
yes,
that quick transition. This is what this is. This is what this is. And I think they've actually, again, I think they've nailed kind of giving Halo campaign kind of a more modern feel, if you will. Along the lines of other, open world, games or other games that have like a large sandbox. So I think that by adding kind of those bases that you're talking about and doing the things that you're discussing, like that adds a different flavor. It actually introduces something that other games, modern games do. And I think they've done that pretty well in Halo, because it doesn't seem that it totally breaks the immersion of the game. It seems like doing those things makes sense. And if you don't
I do
do it,
also
it
like
doesn't
the
punish
armor
you for
core
not doing it
thing.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, the armor core thing's finding dead Spartans, and then you can actually
Yeah,
like
upgrading.
the weapon will tell you who that Spartan was and how they died.
How they died. Yeah,
Uh,
like the first one you find is like she never saw it coming or something.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it sounded like you don't know who took her out, but like she didn't even see it coming. I feel like Atrioc. I almost said let me not spoil things because it wasn't even talked about in the game yet. Anyway, I kind of feel like there's a particular character that took her out, but you see all the dead like banished bodies around her and the bullets and spent weapons and stuff, and then you could take her armor core, which would give you a upgrade. So all these
Yeah.
Spartans that you find that are dead have an upgrade or a particular like something that you could then take and then use to upgrade your gear or your armor for the Master Chief.
Yeah, before I forget too, some of the other thing that I really like is actually the grapple hook because it adds verticality to the game, which really wasn't which is kind of new for Halo. And I like how you can use it to traverse, or you could use it to, like lock on, like basically like lock onto an enemy and just fly at them and like melee them, or
Yeah.
like I think that's pretty cool. The only complaint I have about that though is like the grappling hook is a hook, right? It's hooking onto an enemy, right? And all they do is cower over. I would have liked them to maybe add something a little bit more dynamic than just cowering over because they got a fucking hook like in their skin. Like have them screaming or something, or like trying to fight, or like bleeding or something, right? I mean, I know that's kind of a
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I
Like
mean, you know what I'm saying? Like
feel
it's a fucking hook. Like they just cower over.
I think this is where it comes to where it's a cross-gen game. So like they have to make it so that whatever they do is going to be consistent across the Xbox Series X, PC, as all the way down to the 2013 Xbox VCR. And in order to make it playable on that, like there's certain like there is a bandwidth limit on what you can put into a game. You don't have unlimited resources, and when your lowest common denominator is really really old hardware that's almost a decade old, there's only so much that you can put into the game. So I do agree with you. That would be cool if they added extra detail like that. I just don't think they had it in the budget to do something like that.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say though, I think again to my original point.
Hold on. And Bondi in the chat says it's a terrible excuse. Slow-mo example: The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2 is not an open world game in Bondi, so it's different for open world games versus games where they are smaller environments.
Yeah.
And yes, and even when The Last of Us Part 2 opens up, what they did and this is not a knock against Naughty Dog, it was very smart game design. That tall grass that you see present everywhere, which shows how the world has the planet has overtaken a lot of what civilization had created. That's used to hide things. It's used to allow them to put added detail in other areas. So that and it's not like it's very well designed. It's expertly designed. And Naughty Dog is a far better developer than 343, clearly. But Naughty Dog also is a far better developer than 99% of the industry. So using the best developer in the industry and saying that's a terrible excuse because the best developer in the industry is doing this, that's not exactly a good one-to-one comparison. But
yeah.
man.
No, I hear you, man. But again, I think again, hats off to Joseph State. They really turned this game around. They should be commended for really putting out, from what I played so far, a good game, considering the issues the game had. Optimus, I'm gonna go to you real quick, man. What are your because you've been playing it? What are your impressions so far?
I'm really liking it, man. I mean, I'm not saying like I'm loving it or anything, but I'm really liking it.
Best
I'm
game
liking it more
visually
than
this gen?
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I think there are games even last gen that look better than this game. It kind of reminds me of a late like an early probably Xbox One game, like in terms of visuals. Not like early. I would say probably maybe like 2 or 3 years in, type of game. Um, but in terms of visuals, that's only visuals. But does that does that deter me from playing the game? Hell no. I'm still liking the game. I'm still liking the way that the combat feels. Uh, the grapple hook is really cool. Like that's something I never would have thought, would I would like in a Halo game, and it works. Um, it's definitely I mean, it does have its issues with, certain things. I think, like the difference between quality and performance mode don't look anything different, honestly. I think one's just a little bit higher a resolution, and the other one's lesser a resolution. It doesn't look any different. I mean, cutscenes still look the same, no matter what mode you play in. The uh some of the I feel like heroic is not the way that heroic used to be. Like, I feel like heroic was like that first moment when you play heroic in the other campaigns, it felt a lot harder. This one feels more kind of like medium, and I feel like legendary is probably going to be more like um heroic in a way, which isn't a bad thing. It's just it feels easy, in terms of you know it being on heroic. I mean, honestly, going through and beating the first boss, it was like, okay, like I may have died like maybe once or twice, but you know in the other games, like, I mean, I would have died probably like 4 or 5, when it came to the other Halos. Uh but it's just I feel like um the game is good, but it could have been polished more. Like, I think if they would have took the time to polish it a little bit more, um, I know people probably would have been mad. People would have been upset, like always. Um, I think if they would have polished it just a little bit more with when it came to graphics, I think it would have been a really, a staple. But at the end of the day, as long as it has a good story and it has a good gameplay, I think, this could be potentially one of the better Halos that came out. I don't think it's going to be the best Halo,
Yeah, I agree.
um, by any means, but I think it'll be talked about for a couple years. I think people will still talk about this towards the end of the generation. People will be like, "Yeah, you remember Halo Infinite? Oh yeah, dude, hell
Well,
yeah."
well, I think it's going to be an ongoing game, so people will continue to keep
Right,
talking about it as they drop some
right,
more expansions, and
right.
hopefully they do kind of like what Digital Extremes has done with Warframe, where every 3 years Digital Extremes upgrades their game engine.
And
On,
that's what it seems. And
yeah,
that's what it seems like when it comes to a lot of people that I've talked to that have beaten the campaign and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, it kind of leaves it hanging, and
yeah.
I'm just like, oh, okay, so then that
I
means it's
kind of even know where it's
probably,
going to.
yeah,
If
yeah,
based off the opening sequence, I kind of feel like I know what's not going to be resolved when this is all said
hmm
and done. I can understand the disappointment because clearly they left it open because they got more coming, more
right,
campaign,
Yeah.
story related content coming down the pipeline because
which
they
is
want this
good.
to
I
last.
mean,
Yeah, yeah.
honestly, I think if they can continue to build upon this game, they won't have to come out with another Halo. Maybe 343 can work on something else, something different IP or whatever. Um, but we'll see if that comes to fruition.
Yeah, I will say too, Optimus, great points by the way. I think the narrative piece, there's some narrative things there, and I'm not gonna discuss them. But there's some things that kind of like really intrigued me.
hmm
I don't know if you know what I don't know if I said it slow mo. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's probably too too broad of a question, but there's
you said some things intrigue you, like
there's some
story
things
related.
Yeah, story related that I was not expecting to see.
Yeah,
I was not expecting to see, and I was like, oh, like if they explore that more, that could be hot.
Yeah, and they probably will.
You talking about the whispers?
Yeah,
that and some related to the.
You know what? Let's we should probably save that for next week after people get a week.
Yeah.
After a week of opportunity, people have had enough time to play the game. Then we can kind of get into deep spoiler talk.
Actually, you know, someone. I'm gonna DM you real quick. Hold on, man. Hold on.
It's funny because you say one thing about Halo, you say one like little, thing about it, and people just fucking lose their minds when you say something.
My God!
Like how dare you? At least it has a multiplayer on some other games. It's just like okay. But I'm not talking about those other games. I'm talking about this game right now, and this is how I feel about the game. You have your opinion about it. I have my opinion about it. Doesn't mean we're wrong. It just means this is how I feel about this game. If I was gonna sit here and say I don't like this game, and then continue to play it, and then be like, well, and then be like, well, it's I don't see myself doing that. If it was a game that I was like adamant and being like, dude, I'm not playing any more of this because this game is just shit. Like Cyberpunk 2077. Take that game for example. I started playing that. I liked what I played of it, but when it kept on crashing, it kept on doing certain things that I was just like, dude, I can't play this fucking game. It's broken, and or if the story doesn't intrigue me, it's just like okay, I'm done. There's plenty of games that I've played that I just stopped playing them because I was like, this game sucks. Like The Ascent, I was all like, I didn't even like that game. Like people give me shit about that, but I
didn't like The Ascent either. I was disappointed with that one.
Yeah.
So B Money, I guess you haven't you getting ready. Are you gonna play the game tonight or?
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out for a little bit tonight.
All right. We'll have to
get back to it tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit this next week, man. Get everyone's thoughts, kind of like a week after, right? So it'll be interesting to see what your take is, B. And then I don't think Forte, have you played the game?
Forte's playing Destiny, man. He's not playing Halo.
Nope. Forte has not played it yet. He hasn't downloaded it yet. He hasn't done anything yet. He is a drone. He has been stuck on Destiny for the last 2 days.
Yeah, man, it's the 30th anniversary, man.
That's understandable.
Destiny,
it's not understandable.
No, if you're a Destiny fan, that's understandable, dude. Like that, and you're a Bungie fan, that's very understandable.
Look, man, I reinstalled Destiny. I did, right? Jumped in there. First off, like I couldn't aim for anything because for some reason, like it always happens when I first played Destiny in a long time. I've been playing other games where the ADS and just like the gunplay is different. I'm not saying it's worse, but it's different. So it'd be a moment to get readjusted. But I did, like, they threw me into some opening mission. I had no freaking idea what was going on.
Oh, they threw him into the new mission.
Yeah, and then I got the battle rifle, the Halo battle rifle, and then and then they put me in a big treasure room where I couldn't get anything in the treasure room without spending $30 for the 30th edition. So it's basically just throwing it in my face that you can't get this stuff, right?
You can get all the Halo stuff without paying, though.
Yeah, but they didn't tell me that. They didn't tell me anything. They just literally threw me into a room after that mission and was like, "Ooh, look at all the stuff you don't have access to." Like literally, like it's literally a treasure. Think about Aladdin in the Cave of Wonders, where there's just like treasure all over the place, but you can't touch it.
Listen, man, don't listen. Destiny is a great game.
No, not.
And
right.
And they're celebrating.
Right. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show.
And they're celebrating 30 years of their IPs, and they gave us a beautiful hand cannon, and they gave us a beautiful battle rifle. They gave us a sword that was half plasma. They
Gjallarhorn.
gave us myths They gave
Yeah,
us stuff for
I think we get that
Marathon.
Nerf
No,
Gallahorn.
no,
Marathon
you have to pay
Shotgun.
for the Gallahorn. You have to
Yeah.
spend money.
No,
to get
you
that
don't have to.
Gallahorn.
You don't have to spend money. You have to play the dungeon in order to get it.
Which you got to pay money for. The dungeon.
Yeah,
You gotta pay
exactly.
Oh,
you
do you
have to pay money
for the dungeon?
Yes.
The
Okay.
dungeon.
Okay.
There's only two things you gotta. It's two or three things.
It's
you
the
gotta pay
dungeon
for.
for where the loot cave is
How much is it?
on the Cosmodrome from Destiny 1. So like that's locked behind the 30th edition content. So you gotta spend $30.
No, that's yeah. He's right.
Yeah, you gotta spend $30 on that. Don't try to tell me like I was in there.
30 years for $30.
25.
20 with taxes it come out to about 30. About $30.
No, if you bought it when you was if you bought it as a Game Pass member, you got it for 22.
Okay, but not everybody. Destiny is on literally everything, even Stadia. So it's
I
not
live
even
in California. We don't have to pay for taxes on digital content, so I would have been only 25 for me.
Okay, $25.
It would only been 20 for you.
For a Gallahorn. For a Gallahorn and some cool, admittedly, very cool looking armor.
Don't knock the Gallahorn,
best. Dude. They got some really good armor up in there, man. Really good looking armor. Look, but for real though, that's the only reason I have it. I'm literally installing it as we speak because I did want to jump right in at 1:00 and play it, but me, Luke, and Taz was running a lot of the stuff because it's a lot of cool things that they did in this anniversary edition that really speak to like the heritage of what Bungie has done. And it's just been a nice little evolution. So now it's time to get back to some Halo because can't wait to play this campaign.
All right. So on that note, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show.
Yes,
so we can go back and play some.
Are we
Halo
going to go
Infinite.
into a party together and hold hands?
No.
No.
Yeah. So no. First of all, I want to give everyone a big shout out in the live chat. Thank you everyone for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and if you're new, subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you're alerted when we go live. And then want to give a big shout out to my buddy Dark Optimus. Thank you, Optimus, for hanging out with us this evening. Appreciate it, man, as always.
Yeah, man.
And you can find Dark Optimus at Dark Optimus on the Twitters, and he'll be on the next podcast tomorrow night at 9 p.m. or 8 p.m.
Be there.
Oh, he won't be there.
I won't be there. I told Bob, fuck you, Bob. I'm fucking watching the Game Awards and playing
my
Halo.
All right, so Dark won't be there.
He's not live streaming the Game Awards.
Yeah, he'll be live streaming the Game Awards. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But because he ruins shit. Because he'll be sitting there. He'll be like, oh shit! They just showed this, and I'm just like,
because he's like looking at it like 2 seconds earlier or something.
Yeah. I'm like, bro, really? Like, come on.
That's funny, man. So, but no, Optimus, man, always a pleasure. And then we got Slow-Mo and Gaming Forte. Let you guys are gonna be live tomorrow night, right?
Yes, 7:30 p.m. We're gonna go live on Forte's channel. It's gonna be kind of a two-parter thing. DPS live stream of the Game Awards, and then afterwards we're gonna do a very quick typical DPS show where we'll kind of discuss our reaction, our thoughts on the show after it's done, and we'll get up out of there. So it might be a little bit longer of a show, but come through, and we definitely will be streaming it live for you.
No doubt, man, no doubt. And then we got my man B Money. B was great talking video games with you as always, sir. Yeah, so I'm really interested to get your thoughts on Halo Infinite next week, man. I definitely can't wait to have that conversation, man. So, but B, are you gonna be on DPS tomorrow?
My son has a wrestling match at 6,
okay.
So if I'm home in time after that, I'll definitely be there.
Gotcha, no doubt. Will be always a pleasure. To the panel, always a pleasure, gentlemen. Love talking video games with each and every one of you, and then. Everyone, again, thank you for the live chat, and we're gonna go play some Halo Infinite now because, I want to go play it. So, on that note, we're out. We'll catch you all next week, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're out. Peace. Cortana.